Ignite to impact.
Hey there. Are you struggling with imposter syndrome? Today, I've got a solution for you. Hi there. I'm Dr. Geneva, and welcome to Ignite to Impact Live, the place where we design a vibrant life and a better world. You know, the subject of imposter syndrome pops up everywhere. There was a time where I wasn't aware of the term imposter syndrome. But once I found out what it was, I said, well, I've struggled with that. Have you? Imposter syndrome is this feeling of an unease or anxiety that you're really not as good as you pretend to be, or not really doing the things or really have the skills and talents that other people might think you do, or that you're feeling that they'll find out, that is, other people, that you really don't have it together. Feelings of self-doubt, lack of confidence, and those kinds of things. Well, I've talked to many coaches like myself, and I've been amazed that this certainly ranks in the top 3 of the issues that people bring to their coaching sessions, that people talk about and really want help in. So hey, Hazel, good morning. See, Hazel says, been there. She said, I'm there, in fact. Hazel, let me tell you, you're not alone. And we're going to talk about that too. So I wanted to really dive deep into providing a solution to overcoming imposter syndrome and unleashing your fabulous self. And I have done that, and I'm so excited. I've got this new ebook that I've poured my heart into in terms of strategies and solutions. There it is. It will launch on May the 6th. I wanted to come today, though, to begin to have this conversation with you about things that you can do right here, right now. And so first, let's make sure we're all on the same page about imposter syndrome. That, as even when people applaud your abilities and attributes and achievements, you don't really believe that you've earned them on your own merits. And you're really worried that others will come to the same conclusion. You got those feelings sometimes. And so as a result, you put a lot more pressure on yourself to work more so that you can, prevent people from noticing your so-called flaws or inadequacies. You want to work hard so that you can convince yourself that you're deserving of these positions that really you maybe don't believe you're cut out for. And you kind of feel like you're tricking people sometimes. So if you've experienced any of these feelings, you're having episodes of imposter syndrome. And let me tell you, I have faced, I again, like I said, when I was younger, I did not know about this term, imposter syndrome. It wasn't called that. I remember when I first started working for United Way, and it was my first ever really big time job. I had done some other things and had great experience and had all my academic credentials in order, but this was a big opportunity for me. And I'd gone through, I'm going through a series of interviews, and my final interview was with the second in charge. And I come in and I've been practicing and, taking deep breathing exercises and reviewing my resume as if I don't know what it is that I've done. And I come in and I sit down, and I remember it was a beautiful day. The sun was streaming in through the windows. And so I felt really good about things. And so he was on one side of the desk, I'm on the other. And almost immediately, he starts the interview with saying, well, you're going to have some challenges here in this new position. You've got 3 strikes against you starting out. So I stop and, I just couldn't believe. Now, of course, you can't say that to people today. Okay. But this was, hey, Eve. Oh, how you doing? How you doing? Eve is saying you're looking very vivacious. Thank you, my darling. Just trying to keep up with you. And so I stopped and I was shocked. And he said, you're from out of town, which I was. I was from the East Coast and come to Detroit because I'd gotten married and my husband was from Detroit. He said, you're out of town. You're a woman and you're young. He said, so those are 3 strikes against you, and you're going to have a difficult time in this position. Okay, so you remember me telling you about how good I felt walking in and the sun streaming in, and yes, well, immediately it got dark. It really did. I was full. I mean, I was just crushed. So I'm not going to tell you how that ended up. Wait till the end of this conversation we're having here, and I'll let you know how that ended up. But needless to say, you want to talk about immediate self-doubt, lack of confidence, the floor falling out under me. Then let me fast forward almost 50 years later, when I decided to step out of the nonprofit world and become an entrepreneur. And everyone was telling me, why are you doing that? Why do you think you could do that? Don't you know it's a different field? Even my husband, who was my number one supporter, said, are you sure you can do this? Do you want to do this? And I, constantly was feeling doubtful. And I was getting all of this, and I was trying to tell myself, well, I've run organizations. I can do this. I can do this. But I was filled with self-doubt and lack of confidence stepping into this entrepreneur world. I'm going to save the ending on that one as well. So just sharing those, instances of self-doubt and lack of confidence that I felt, and there were many in between. Okay. It's something that, is not felt by just one individual. We all feel it at some point in time. So the solution that I've created is found in my new book. But what I wanted to do is to drop some gems with you before you have a chance to get the book, because I want you to see some of the benefits that you can get, some of the strategies and solutions. So let me share 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 that I want to share from the book. And I'd like you to think about these things and apply them. So the first strategy, solution to overcoming this imposter syndrome, or these feelings of self-doubt, is to recognize that everybody got it. Yeah, latest surveys show more than 70% of people at one time or another have these feelings. And ever since the pandemic, I understand that those figures have even gone up more. But listen, you don't believe me? You just think that not everybody listened. So Michelle Obama, former First Lady, said, I still have a little imposter syndrome. It doesn't go away. That feeling that you shouldn't take me that seriously. What do I know? And we all have doubts in our ability, in our power, and what power is. Sheryl Sandberg, who's a billionaire philanthropist with Facebook and et cetera, there are still days when I wake up feeling like a fraud. Hey, what about Jennifer Lopez? Even though I sold 70 million albums, there I was feeling like I'm no good at this. Huh? Albert Einstein said, I feel compelled to think of myself and feel very ill at ease. And he's a genius. You know, we credit him as being a genius, right? Kate Winslet. Sometimes I wake up in the morning before going off to a shoot and I think, I can't do this. I'm a fraud. I'm there thinking, oh my God, I'm rubbish and everyone is going to see it. They've cast the wrong person. Now, listen, wait a minute, Tom Hanks. No matter what we've done, there comes a point where you think, how did I get here? When are they going to discover that I am, in fact, a fraud and take everything away from me? So, I just wanted to share those quotes from famous people, celebrities who feel the same way. And I know when I read it, I said, well, they feel the same way I do at times. And so, this is what I'm saying on this first step to overcoming imposter syndrome. Realize that everybody got it. So you're not alone. The second strategy, solution, step I'd like to share with you for you to think about is to remember your past successes. Yeah. If you're listening to my voice right now, no matter what it is you're doing, I know for a fact that if you hear and can hear, if you are here and can hear, that you've had accomplishments in your life. You've done some things. I know you have. Angela, thank you. Angela was sharing that these are good quotes. And yeah, it shows to us, and this is what other people say. They are admitting it. I know that you've had successes. I know that for a fact. I know that you've had wins. And remembering those wins, hey, Rachel, yes, no matter how self-assured, yes, you're strong when you have the mindset. Now, that's the difference. Thank you so much for that mindset. And that's part of remembering your past successes. So get your mind focused on what you've done in the past. And sometimes, keeping a journal of that is good so that you can flip and go to the journal. And what I do also when I was with United Way, every now and then we would get these fantastic emails or letters, or somebody or a young child or someone would write in and talk about how impactful the service that they got was, whether they got a new job, whether they got a camping experience, whether they were a senior where there were meals delivered, whatever it was, or volunteer who sat on a committee and had a great experience. They would drop a note to say, thank you, and share their experience. I would take those notes and I would post them. Some I would frame, some I have even today. And what you do is you post them. And whenever you're feeling doubtful, whenever you're feeling that, you can't do this because you don't know how, look up at that letter, look at that email, look at how someone acknowledged your past win and say to yourself, oh, I've been here before and I got through. I did it before and I can do it again. You know what I'm saying? So remembering your past successes and remind yourself of your accomplishments. So that's another one. And then the third one I'd like to share with you. And again, I've got, more than 15 strategies in the new Unleashing the Fabulous You ebook about how you can overcome imposter syndrome and increase your confidence, get that self-confidence for success. I've got in one section, it's 15 strategies. And then in another section, I give some more steps and solutions. So again, I really like to bring the solution. We can talk about the problem. We know what the problem is. I believe in analyzing the problem so that you know where you are, what it is that you're trying to solve. But it's about the solutions, the strategies, the steps, I believe. So my ebook is chock full of that. And this third one is about reframing. So reframing your self-thinking. So this has to do with shifting your mindset. So that rather than thinking, I'm not that great, want you to shift to thinking, I'm grateful for all I am and my willingness to be even better. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So it's a mind shift. And rather than saying, I'm not worthy, thinking that, when you come into a situation and you see perhaps let's say you're going to a meeting and you walk into the room and you see all of these folks sitting around the table who you perceive got it all together, got it all going on. And, let me just tell you, most of us trying to make it up as we go anyway. Okay. But you walk into the room and you think everybody in there is all that. And you're thinking, I'm not worthy. Start thinking. I want you to shift your thinking to, I believe in myself. I am my greatest well-wisher. Okay, so the person that I give my best wishes to is me. Okay, and doing that kind of reframing, and oh yes, and so Kay Lane says she was doing sales for an art gallery. She created a brag book which contained all her high-level, and she's going to high-level sales achievements, and she's going to pull it out today and look at it. Yes, Elaine. And you know what? I want you to drop me a comment. Come after you do that, I want you to come back and I want you to comment on, on the replay, or, where you do comments on Facebook. You're coming to us from Facebook, right? I want you to comment in Extraordinary Women Influencers or what have you, how you felt. How it made you feel when you pulled out your high sales achieving brag book, okay, and how that made you feel, okay. And Angela says, everybody has those moments. Remember your past success, analyzing, reframing. Yes, willingness. Yes, yes, yes. Those are the key takeaways, Angela, I believe. And so I want you to reframe your thinking, do that shift. And when that's one of the things, when you're feeling that way, when that self-doubt creeps up, and again, remember, it creeps up on all of us. This is not new. It creeps up on all of you. One of the things, when it starts to creep, you say, ooh, can I? I don't feel good. Ooh, can I? I want you to shift and reframe your thinking. Okay. Now, the fourth one I want to share with you is like a bonus to this reframe. So, and it's what I call affirm affirmations. So, what am I talking about? Okay. So, we love affirmations, don't we? I love affirmations. You love affirmations. Oh my gosh, I love affirmations. And just that repeating the mantra of it, the saying, the positiveness, I am, I am, I am, and all those good things that we say to our mind. I love them. Here's a bonus to affirmations, what I call affirming your affirmations. So that rather than saying, I am good, I am great, I am thoughtful, I want you to say, I took care of that because I am, and then fill in the blank. So I had a great day because I am. I had a fabulous meeting because I am. Do you see what you're doing? So you're finding the positive thing that happened. I had a great meeting. I achieved my goals because I am focused, because I am intentional, because I speak well, whatever that is. So you're doing like double duty. So it's like you're affirming the affirmation. So what it does is it requires you to first look for the positive that happened in your day. I had a great meeting. I, cleaned up my whole, home. I, got a big sale. Whatever it is, you look for the positive, and then you add to that the why. Because I am. And it's a double reinforcement. Get it? Okay. So try it. I'd love for you to try it. Just try it and see what happens. Okay. So those are the four solutions, steps for today. I'd like to leave with you. And I want you to know that I got to tell the end of those two stories. Okay. So you remember the first story. And then I'm going to ask Tisha to come in and let me know, because I love asking people to share your imposter syndrome stories as well. So the end of my two imposter syndrome stories, you remember the first one when I said I was a youngster coming to my first great job and was told in the interview by the man who was going to hire the number two in the organization. And he told me that, I had challenges. I had 3 strikes against me before I even started. I was out of town. I was young and I was a woman. And we also acknowledged that probably wouldn't say that. You can't say that today, but this is in the 70s. Okay. And so the end to that, really the end to that story was, it knocked me over. But one way or another, I found the resolve to not only get his position, okay, but get the top person's position. And I became the first Black woman, first Black and woman head of United Way. Okay. And then you remember the other story that affirm affirmations. Yes. The other story that I said about, being told I'm too old. See, that was the other side of it. Too old to become an entrepreneur. Didn't know what I was doing. It was tough, etc. All those things that did not help to build my confidence. And so I suffered really from and kind of wandered around them first couple of years trying to figure out what it was I was doing, but also riddled with self-doubt through that process. today, I'm a successful entrepreneur. I've written books, I'm teaching, um, I have, I'm on social media everywhere. You can see me providing value. I'm doing my dream. Was named a top businesswoman in Michigan by the National Association of Women Business Owners. Just completed the 10,000 Goldman Sachs Entrepreneur Program, which is one of the premier business education programs to just even get even better so I can bring even more value. And so my only point at telling you about the end of what happens is that, yes, we can all experience those feelings of self-doubt, but what comes on the other side is what we do and can achieve. And we can do it if we have the solution. And that's why I decided to write this book. As you know, I've talked about this subject. I've done podcasts on this subject. I've done blogs on imposter syndrome. I just did a, fantastic article about how important the appointment, the confirmation of Judge Jackson to the highest court in the land was so important for women, particularly women who struggle with imposter syndrome. Go check it out. It's on Medium. And so I've done a lot, but I wanted to create this solution, another solution, and that was this ebook. And I'm going to follow it up with a webinar, an interactive webinar where we can even dive even deeper. So I just want to say I'm excited. The book will be coming out May 6th, but Tisha, my producer, you all know Tisha. What do you think about this conversation?
So I'm watching the comments just light up. I am enjoying the conversation, and I'm no different than Albert Einstein, it sounds like. Oh, I think I'm operating, I don't think I am. I know I'm operating in my gift, in my calling, my zone of genius. And still, Dr. Geneva, I see people around me who are doing the things that I'm trying to manifest. I see them bringing in these multi-million-dollar contracts in the industry that I work in, and we eat lunch together. And I'm learning that there's no competition there. That this is my time to celebrate their wins. My wins are different right now, and it's okay. My wins are for me. They're for my company. But don't think that those thoughts don't creep in. So I'm learning, and it's being reaffirmed and manifested in new ways that it's a challenge, but it's not a competition. And, cheers and kudos to those out there winning. And I'm sure even those who are landing these multi-million-dollar contracts in PR and media relations, I'm sure they have some of these same feelings as well. So it was cool to hear about Tom Hanks, who I admire, of thinking that my first lady has these thoughts too, was like, wow, even Michelle Obama, the first lady. It gives me some assurance that I'm not out of my mind. It's just I need to replace those thoughts with affirming affirmations, like you said. I love the conversation, and clearly the audience does as well, because these comments are flowing in.
Yes. And I want to say I appreciate that, Tisha. And I just want to say when you do, for those of you who are, in various business ventures, et cetera, and you see others who are doing things, maybe achieving, greatness, more things, et cetera, remember that don't compete, contrast. So in other words, hey, Michelle is giving claps on that. Contrast. In other words, what is it that you bring to the table? What's the contrast between you and all of the others? That's where you find your unique value. And you know why? The bottom line is there is nobody like you. Never was, never will be. You are unique, just like we all have our own individual fingerprints. We're unique. Okay. And so, what is that uniqueness that you have that is different, that contrasts with everyone else? And once you find that and can hone on that, that's what you do. So, you celebrate, you don't compete. You be happy for others because you got your own thing going, your uniqueness. And want you to remember that, as particularly when those feelings of self-doubt creep up, because oftentimes they appear when we feel that somebody else is doing better than we are. When we look at social media and see all the glamorous life and all of that, we think that we're not a part of that, or that's not part of our story, or we can't get that. And that's sometimes when it appears. But again, remember the steps that we've talked about today, some of the strategies, your own successes, your own wins, your uniqueness that you are, and continue to work on that. Continue to focus on that, and continue to design your own vibrant life, because we all have that choice to do. So, love you all. If you're not a member of my Extraordinary Women Influencers group on Facebook, would love for you to become a part of that conversation. We talk about a lot of great things. Yes, find your niche. That's another way to say it. Find your niche. Thank you, Angela, for that. And so, Angela and Rachel and Tisha and Elaine and Eve, my Eve, all of you and all of the others who've joined, I hope this has been valuable. I only do this so that, if it matters to you. So whether you're here live or on the replay, would love your comments, would love to have and hear your thank you, Eve. I would love to hear your views about what you do to conquer those self-doubt when it creeps up. Hey there, Montez Miller. Good morning to you. Mwah. The world's most famous videographer, photographer there is. That's my girl, Montez Miller. So again, drop me a line, drop some comments. Love you all. Take care. And you know what? I'm going to see you next time for part 2 of this overcoming imposter syndrome. But the real deal we're talking about is unleashing the fabulous you. See you next time.
Ignite to